Thanks, G. Listen, it's exciting. Once the watermelon hats come out and Nick Rabinowitz pulls through, you know cricket means business, that's for sure. Right now, though, we are focusing on some tech on this Thursday. Right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show, our gaming guru Grant Hinds is here with another game review to look forward to. This is a big one. Prince of Persia, they are back. And this has stirred up quite a lot of excitement in the gaming industry, remembering, of course, the games from the early 2000s. Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown is the latest title, and Grant is here to give us his thoughts, my brother.
I'm going to show you something now. Let's get intense.
You know what, that 0 to 100 very quickly, my friend.
I got three guys in one go, like I was Super Saiyan from freaking Dragon Ball Z.
Dude, okay, so let's talk about this one. Prince of Persia, Lost Crown, the brand new one. First thoughts?
It is excellent. so just so that you know, a lot of people probably remember, a lot of kids out there will remember Prince of Persia as a 3D game. It was called Sands of Time. And we'll talk about the history of Prince of Persia back then. But now what they've done is they've included Prince of Persia back to its original roots, because it used to be a 2D platform. And a lot of it's about like puzzle solving and platforming. But they took a lot of the elements of like the really cool fighting from the 3D version, and then the puzzle solving, because I didn't like the fighting in the first 2D version, but it was the start of something, right? And yes, it's getting intense.
Yeah, man, that ninja had no chance.
Yeah, and this is your character. His name is Sargon. He's one of these immortals. That's the story, so they kind of flesh out a plot. All set in Persia, which is great. So you can see he's no Jake Gyllenhaal, if you know what I'm saying.
We were just speaking about that, the film adaptation.
Why would they cast Jake Gyllenhaal
as the Prince of Persia?
As the Prince of Persia.
Oh,
anyway,
gosh.
Early 2000s, it was wild out there.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, but you ran us through the story, and what do you think of the storyline? Before we delve into the history a little bit later on.
I think the storyline's a bit lackluster, but the fighting is awesome. The 2D, oh no, I got absolutely like smashed. But the 2D platforming is actually very cool. When this game first was announced, I think a lot of people were like, this is like an afterthought, right? To have like a game set. Oh no, I'm gonna get to. This is it's very tough, eh?
It's like intense, bro. You can see there. That's a big health bar on this guy.
Yeah. So we are currently in a boss fight at the moment. So this is the wrong time to have this conversation. but I am a ninja, and I know. Well,
yeah, come on, you're such a professional, dude. You can talk and fight at the same time. Look, compared to all the previous other versions, all right. This one obviously went back to its roots, almost like you said.
Yes.
What do you make of it? If you take a look at, we're not delving into the history, but I mean, I think the evolution of Prince of Persia over the years.
Look, I think it kind of like hit, after Sands of Time, it was kind of a peak, and I think a lot of games back then started to cash in.
Yeah.
And I think what happened was they were cashing in. I beat him on live TV. That's how we do. Sorry, I was really like keen to do that.
Yeah. You mean business? Look at that face, bro.
Yeah, I mean business. My character, Sargon, is a very cool character. And I think they kind of lost their way. And by doing something like this, going back to like 2D means that you cut out all the fluff, right? And you make a game that people actually really want to play. The reason the Prince of Persia is popular. So you got the like traversing, which is like the parkouring, but in 2D. And then you also get like this really cool fighting. So every aspect of the gameplay is cool. Every time I pick up the controller, I just want to carry on playing. And there's very few games, I'm getting old and jaded. There are very few games now where that like scratches an itch for me. So it really is well created and well made. The story is a bit boring, I must say, very predictable, but it's presented in such a cool way. I love this art style. I love the way it looks.
I was about to comment. I mean, it looks beautiful.
Yes, it's like hand painted. Yes. It's a very cool approach to a Prince of Persia game.
Yeah, and the gameplay itself, Grant. I mean, you were going through, I mean, it's quite quick, it's quite responsive, it's lovely. I've been seeing you jumping up walls and swinging and doing all kinds of funny things. So there's quite a lot of action with regards to the gameplay.
So the gameplay balances both of these action set pieces that we've just done now. And just before the ad break, if you were here, you saw us like climbing walls and doing parkour.
Swinging and whatnot.
And whatnot. And that kind of like plays a big role in Prince of Persia. Time generally does too, and time is a big part of the story, but I feel that they haven't really touched on, in Sands of Time, you could reverse time. So you could do a mistake, and then like you had a dagger that helped you reverse time. Very cool mechanic back in the day. They haven't really leaned into that here, which I would really like them to. But there's room for a sequel, and they've got the core game there. So I'm like, hey, you got it going. Like, let's keep this trend up. And I highly, highly recommend it. If you love old school games, if you love gameplay that's like Devil May Cry and Bayonetta, these where you juggle opponents in the air and you want to do combos in a 2D environment. Say you like fighting games, but you also want to have a bit of adventure. This is a great game to play. Might not strike that nostalgic-ish itch for you, but it is such a cool game.
I just wish there were more hours in the day that I can actually sit and play all of this. But I know my boys are watching.
Abs like this. You know.
Look, I know my boys are watching at the moment, and I know what's going to happen after the show.
That's why you've got. That's why I don't have abs like that, because I'm playing games like this.
They captured my likeness perfectly. Well done. That's brilliant. All right, Grant, thank you so much. Thanks so much. We are going to be delving into the history. I mean, it's got such a rich history a little bit later on, so stick around for that chat with Grant Hinds live on your For Your Good Breakfast Show.